final lap is definitely going to be the 72 of Joshua Durham. Alright guys, with all that information, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to have some driver interviews. Oh man, he could turn up with this, Greg. Completely different season. The next race is like race. And you never know what can happen race to race. So, exactly how to ride these cars in the future.
Oh, Corey, there's a lot more to racing than just winning. I mean, taking the race by a full lap? Where's the entertainment in that? I just wanted to give the folks a little sizzle. Sorry I didn't have a crew chief. It's on a one-man show.
Derek Myers, the teammate of Gerald West. Oh, and the 98 of Jerry Glenn's just gone round. I think that was off the bumper of Logan Lansford. And that is going to give... Hello, everyone, and welcome to the sick joke that is the caution-free 150 here from the Richmond Raceway, uh, on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. Are you already stuffed up? We're only 2 seconds into it. Excellent. But yes, the cruel joke is whoever is the sponsor for tonight decided to name it the caution-free 150. We've already got cars on track as they're preparing for a pit party by the looks of things. There's Reggie Ortega. He's going to be inside the second row. Looks like we'll probably get a second lap around here. Just because Richmond's so small, it's hard to get everyone organised within a lap. But yeah, it should be a fun time here. 150 miles of the Richmond Raceway. And we currently have 32 drivers registered to race at 3181 strength of field. And we already have an incident count for the entirety of practice in the hundreds. In fact, I think it's already over 300 at this point. These trucks are set up for racing at night. It's not quite night time yet. As they're coming out of the turn straight forward, we'll get going with a pit party here by the looks of things. A little bit of check up in the mid packs here as people are trying to go a little bit early. Maybe a little bit of wheel spin involved as well. We've already got some 3 wide action. 25 Jack Sanders was the protagonist in that one. And at the back of the pack we had a spin. I think that was a 66 of Sam Niederhelm. Oh, there goes Travis Amasia, right in front of Thomas Harmon. He's managed to gather it up and keep going. Oh, and there it is. There's a big one. Expecting some of that here tonight. But yeah, as day transitions in tonight, these trucks should get a little bit tighter. You can see they're very on knife edge at the moment, very loose. A lot of people spinning out because of it. They should tighten up a little bit for the race, but as I said, it would still be a little bit on the loose side. As, oh my god, look at that on the back straight. Ken Campbell, Slama, Harmon, Marquez, and Pentagoff all involved. Reggie Ortega just giving a little boop there to Ken. Yeah, pit parties around here, not so necessary. This is why they're just out there running laps. This is more about just trying to control the truck. Because you got to race Richmond a lot like you race a race course. Like a road course, sorry. It's you racing the track more so than you racing your competitors. As Andrew Hennessy just got a little bit of a bump in the middle of the corner there from TJ Crampton. Up into the side of Corey Cook he went. And oh, there's a hook. And those 4 drivers all involved. I think I just saw someone in the fence, and I think it was Cook. He's come down now. Kyle Kraus was also down on the inside fence there. There's the 9, Joe Slama. Brian Chambliss in the 67. It's got Rickard going for a half spin. Let's have a look at what we've got going on here at the moment as far as the order is concerned. Andrew Hennessy leading the way with a 22.086 over Harmon. There's Champo in 3rd, Pramines in 4th. Hernandez, Rickard, Barnes making a return. Perkins, Baylor, Campbell in P10. We have Horton, Slama, Kraus, Gaston. He's going to be in the 103. He's a brand new driver here. Abram Gaston. A-Class 4.39 with a 23.88 I rating. Chambers, Cook, Pizzakemi, Ortega, Masia Crampton, as Weekly, Marquez, Sanders, Niederhelm, Shoemaker, Sanchez, Griesbaum, Harris, Pentacuff, Collins, and Isaacson and Watson at the back of the pack. A lot of people struggling with conditions right now, with it being so warm still, and these trucks being set up for the night time. Obviously, when the track tightens up, you got to loosen off the truck, so you're not just ploughing the right front into everything. As Thomas Harmon was parked there on the back straight. Even Thomas Harmon is not immune to the way the truck's feeling. I think we only have 2 cars, maybe 3, who are still out there running from the pit party. And one of them just gave up the ghost. That was Sanchez. But we've also got Pizzicami and Perkins still out there. They're on 14-lap-old tyres. I'm pretty sure that was from the pit party. Let's have a look at Gaston here, as we're trying to put him on track. Is that him? That is him. And you can see he's got the 22 on there, so I might have called him as Ortega before. So we'll have to get him to change that, because we already have a 22, so we're going to have 2 22s out there. Christian Poe comes out from the pits. Niederhelm experimenting with some alternate dimensions, just trying to find some grip. In the background, Kyle Kraus exits stage right. Oh, both Sam and Weekly got the slide on there. Both of them just getting into the gas a little bit too much. Frank also had a bubble, but he was able to gather it up and keep it going. There's Thomas Harmon. Right behind him is Joe Slammer in the 9. Reggie Ortega, who was just coming out of the pits, is going to join them. They're just playing around with a couple of different camera angles here. So don't let that turn 1 camera. There's the 2, Jonathan Hernandez sitting in the 4th position. He's definitely one of those looking for a decent position. Time ticking away, 6 minutes left in practice. Day is very slowly transitioning into night. I think we do have 2 times speed on the weather, well, the way that the day changes, the way the time ticks. As around is Collins and Watson. A couple of people getting into Watson there. There's Andrew Perkins going for a spin on the back straight, the 97 car. He's currently P11. drive himself into the pits. Jonathan Hernandez on track. He's trying to improve on his position. As Chris Champeau has just jumped up into P2. Dropping Hernandez down to 5th. Chris Champeau with a 22.170. So the track's still holding a fair bit of pace and probably getting a little bit faster. So we'll probably see times tumbling once more here in just a few moments. And I'm not sure what happened there. Bit of a technical glitch right there. As now we have less than 4 minutes left in practice. Caleb Weekling, the 10 car on screen. There's a 68 Andrew Griesbaum. I still maintain his flag is backwards. The stars should be on the side just behind the cab. As Andrew Hennessy gets into the pits. Dad Failer has jumped up into P2. Hernandez jumped up into 3rd. 0.063 of a second separating our top two. The entire field right now actually only separated by 0.552 of a second. Around goes Frank. Their times are getting faster as the sun is setting. Darkness befalls the track temp comes down. We're looking at Ken Campbell, Jonas Marquez and Brian Chambliss. There's 25 Jack Sanders, he's just come out of the pits just behind them as well. Corey Cook, who just come out of the pits. Austin Collins jumps up into P2. Now just 0.048 of a second separating our top two. But with just over a minute left here in practice, we are going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we will have the results of qualifying and the start to our race here. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Racing action will be coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Richmond Raceway for the caution-free 150 here on the Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. As you can see, qualifying is about to wrap up, and then we'll be able to get in to see our grid for the caution-free 150. Starting off the pole, no surprise, Mr. Consistency, Andrew Hennessy. Chris Champeau in the 12 will be out of P2. P3 will be the 2 of Jonathan Hernandez, with P4 the 03 of TJ Crampton. Travis Barnes in the 106 will be out of 5, with the 74 of Austin Collins out of P6. P7 will see the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Then we have Frederick Cremines out of P8. P9, the 68 Andrew Griesbaum. With P10, the 05 of Scott Rickard. And out of 11th, we're going to have Joe Slama. There's Reggie Ortega there. He'll be out of P12. The 13th position will be filled by Thad Faylor, with Andrew Perkins filling in the 14th position. We're going to have Carl Kraus in the 7. He'll be out of 15th, with Ghost On, our newcomer, out of P16 in the 103.22. Ken Campbell will be out of 17th. Travis Massia will be out of the 18th position. James Watson in the 39. He'll be out of 19th. And there's the Cookie Monster himself, Corey Cook, out of P20. P21, we're going to have the 8 of Brian Harris. And there's the 25 of Jack Sanders. He'll be out of 22nd. Frank Isaacson in the 24 will be out of 23rd, with the 5 of Mark Pentecoff out of 24th. Sam Niederhelm, the last of our lap timers, will be out of 25th. He's a last possible Hard Charger Award participant. Brian Chambliss will be out of 26th. There's Matt Horton, he'll be 27th. Caleb Weekly will be out of 28th. League founder Jaron Sanchez will be out of 29th position, with Bryce Schumacher out of 30th. And then our last row of the grid will be the 00 of Jonas Marquez and the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi. 32 cars, 3181 strength of field, 125 laps. And we're expecting a lot of action very early in this one. 2 pace laps behind the pace car, and then we let them loose. And it looks like we're going to have one car starting from the pits, and that is going to be the 78 of Pizzakemi. And Ghost On did not take the grid. So our league rookie there not taking the grid in 16th position. And it looks like he's going to be out completely, so that's definitely not good. There's also been some new rules that I've got to mention. If they get 10 incident points, then they'll be coming down for a drive-through. And we do have a disqualification limit now as well. So we'll have to keep an eye out for cars coming through to serve a drive-through. The pace car's going to make the hard left turn into pit lane. The first start is on green. All the restarts will be on the leader inside of the restart zone. We're off and racing. There's a very big jump there early for Andrew Hennessy, as he goes thundering down into turns 1 and 2. Jonathan Hernandez already taken over the 2nd position. Travis Barnes trying to sneak up there into 3rd. Let's see if he can do it. As Ghost On and Pizzakemi are both going to enter the track here. It looks like Pizzakemi is going to be at risk of going a lap down immediately. We're watching this battle for 3rd. Travis Barnes stuck on the outside of Chris Champeau. Everyone's getting a little bit skittish already, as The track is transitioning into its tighter form here under the lights of the Richmond Raceway. So that'll make the trucks a little bit easier to drive as Champeau holding Barnes out there a little bit in the second lane. Great little race here with these two side by side for third. As all sideways and around is the 12. That is our first caution of the race. I don't think anyone else collected him. Let's just back this up and have a look in slow-mo at what happened to the 12 of Chris Champeau. You can see he's already drifting into turn 3. And yeah, just around it goes. Very lucky for TJ Crampton to sneak around him. Thomas Harmon as well. You see the experience of Chris Champeau there, just locking it down, waiting for everyone else to just skid around him. Having a little bit of contact through the field in that little section. And that's all she's going to write on that one. He's coming down for a trip through the pits. Possibly have his crew look at the tyres. So we do have all 32 cars on track. Not sure why Ghost On decided to start from the pits, but it's exactly what he did. And no one went a lap down there. Pizzacami was very lucky to maintain his position on the lead lap before that caution came out. Okay, still transitioning in tonight. The night lights have started to take over. You can see there's still a little bit of daylight out. The track isn't quite optimal for racing just yet, but very soon it should be. And it looks like the 94 of Hennessy has chosen the outside lane. It's going to give Hernandez the inside run here for turns 1 and 2 on the restart lap. But Hennessy controls the restart. He gets to go whenever he wants inside of the restart zone. There's Barnes and the 03 of TJ Crampton there as well. Here we go. Race car's going to make that hard left turn into pit lane. And we're racing.
Go, go, go. Green flag.
Barnes already trying to look for the move on Hernandez. Sneaks right down to the inside. They were 3 wide briefly. Back down to 2 wide. Looks like Hernandez actually gets a really nice run there out of turn 2. Maintains the second position. Cuts across the nose of Barnes and says, "See you later, kid." As Barnes will maintain the 3rd position, but TJ Crampton looking to make the move on the inside. Saw Barnes had quite a bit of pace on the outside line before. Hernandez with quite a bit of pace right now. He's going to be looking to take over that 1st position as Barnes just about tickles the back bumper of the 2 truck. Very close quarters battling here at the front of the pack. We are making sure we keep an eye down towards the back of the pack just in case anything happens. As Barnes stunters around the outside of Hernandez coming out of 4. He taps the wall slightly, but he had his nose ahead at the line. So he was officially scored as P2 there. Now, how long will he stay out there for? He's taken second. That second lane came in an absolute treat for Travis Barnes. Now he is going to try and work over our leader, Andrew Hennessy. Immediately goes to the outside. Hennessy had a very slow arc into the corner, just checking up Barnes a little bit on entry. Like he knew what Barnes was going to do, he predicted it, and he provided his own defense for it. As some of these trucks already starting to experience the loose. Hennessy once more, the very slow arc through turns 1 and 2. So that means that Travis Barnes is really going to have to work for it, but if he goes for a big dive bomb into turn 1, then that's going to force Hennessy to have to stay up higher on the track. We're just going to have to watch and see how this little battle is going to come out, as it's still Hennessy with the advantage over Barnes. Fernandez still right there. He'll be looking for a move back on Barnes to try and get back into P2. TJ Crampton is usually a very aggressive driver as well. As we've already had a couple of cars in the pits, the 4 has been through the pits, so too has the 103. Ghost on is currently 4 laps down. Sanchez, not sure what's happened to him, but he's in the pits. He's currently 2 laps down. It's going to be 3 here shortly. As peeking to the outside once more is Travis Barnes. He just can't quite get that run off turn 2 because of the way that Hennessy is attacking the corner. And he attacks turns 3 and 4 so differently to the way he attacks 1 and 2. Oh, Barnes just about clouting into the back of the Hennessy truck. And these two starting to pull a little bit of a gap over Hernandez. 0.5 of a second between Barnes and Hernandez right now. Up the inside of Hernandez goes Crampton. He absolutely sent it from way back. Maintains side by side the battle for third on in earnest. As they go through turns 3 and 4, this is an excellent race right now. And that's going to be TJ Crampton now up into third. Nanders will be trying to get that back desperately. See quite a bit of a gap forming in mid-packs there. Not sure if we're in the right spot. I just thought it'd be appropriate that we have a look through here. Brian Pizzicami already up at the 23rd after starting dead last and in the pit lane. I think Jaron Sanchez's night might be just about done. So I'm thinking he's got some damage somewhere along the line. Let's go check back in on our leaders. Still no battle forming here just yet. As the sun has gone down, the nightlight's absolutely in full effect right now. Go back to focusing through the field. There's Frank Isaacson in the 24. He's currently in the 25th position. Just a couple back from where he started. We'll be looking to improve on that. Thomas Harmon in the 38 car. Sitting in P5, he's got Cremines on his bumper. And everyone's just kind of strung out here a little bit. I didn't think we would get to this point of where everyone's strung out a little bit. I don't think many other people thought we would either. But I think the threat of the harsher penalties has definitely resonated with a few throughout the field. And everyone's just starting to drive within their heads a little bit more. Sanchez is now back out of the pits. He's 11 laps down. So his race is effectively over unless we start descending into chaos once more. That's the thing too, it only takes one caution for the entire race to become chaos. Especially when it concerns fuel strategy, tyre strategy as well. A lot of fall off in these tyres around here. There's a very soft tyre carcass. Falls off pretty quick. Go 5 Scott Rickard trying to look for a way around Austin Collins. That's the current battle for 7th. Means just up ahead of these two. Collins running a very wide line there in 3 and 4. But it's been working out for him. He hasn't been losing anything to Cremines ahead. Or, in fact, to Scott Rickard behind either. As Cremines had a little wiggle coming out of turn 2. There is a 74. Austin Collins now looking to make the move on Cremines. He's left the outside open to attack from Scott Rickard, last season's champion. Now it looks like the leader is about to encounter at least one of the 2 cars of lap traffic, and that's going to be the Forrest Sanchez league founder, Jaron Sanchez. Already 33 laps into this race. And just look at the gap Hennessy has gotten over Barnes. It's already to the tune of a full second. It just takes one mistake from someone within the field for all that to come crashing down. One caution, and that gap goes from a full second to nothing as Sanchez gets out of the way quite easily for Hennessy. He's not fighting for nothing. He's just out here having a bit of fun. Let's go focus back through the field now. Looking back at Cremines, Collins and Rickard. The three-way battle for P6, although Cremines is trying to make that a battle for 4th. As Thomas Harmon goes for a move on Hernandez. And the tyres for Hernandez seem to have just gone off completely. as Harmon makes that move look easy. Harmon now up into the 4th position. And it looks like he's already starting to pull away from the 2 car. Now what will Cremines do? Looks like he's got the pace over Hernandez right now. Just has to find the right moment to strike. What can Scott Rickard do from back here as well? He's in P8, and we know that he knows how to work his way through a field. Collins peeks the nose to the inside of Cremines. Can he make the move stick? They go side by side out of 2, but Cremines just has the momentum advantage on corner exit. I think this might be a perfect time for us to go to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we might see green flag stops if we don't get a caution here. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the caution-free 150 should be coming up here very shortly. Welcome back to the caution-free 150 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the 8 Foot Racing League. We're currently looking out the back of our race leader, Andrew Hennessy. And you can still see Jaron Sanchez just sitting there. He's about 1.3 seconds off our leader. And then 2.5 seconds off in the distance there, that blue car, that is Travis Barnes in P2. Go back looking at the outside of the car. Remains trying to look for any kind of a move on Hernandez here. Water and commercial break. Scott Rickard tried to pull the move on Austin Collins, couldn't get there, but here goes Cremines to the inside of Hernandez, couldn't quite get there. Started falling back as Hernandez has the advantage of the momentum, but here goes Scott Rickard now. Sending to the inside of Austin Collins. Oh, he got sideways. Gonna ruin his momentum down the back straight here. The very short back straight, that is. And it looks like Collins is going to maintain position. And a lot of that going on throughout the race, as now Joe Slama starting to find his way into this battle. Slama right back there in a 9th position. As once more Rickett goes for the move in 1 and 2. Means just holding up Collins slightly there. But it's still going to be advantage Collins as they come down the main straight. Here goes Joe Slama now, looking to the outside of Scott Rickard. Collins trying to break the momentum of Scott there slightly, while also trying to give himself the best chance at the corner. And the 9 of Slama has gotten around Rickard to become P8. There you go, the outside does work if you know what you're doing. And it looks like our leader, Andrew Hennessy, starting to dispose of some more combatants towards the back of the pack. Put an extra lap down on Ghoston, and he's got a lap down on Mark Pentacup as well. David Innerhelm and Brian Harris, the next two to be checked off the list of cars that are going on a lap down. Oh, Cremines looked like he got a little bit squirrely there coming off turn 4. That was all the invitation Austin Collins needed to the inside and up into P6 goes Collins. Cremines trying to look to fight back. Collins running that extreme outside line, getting all the momentums. Cremines really starting to struggle in that 14 truck, as now he's also looking at losing a position to the 9 of Slama. Remains has fallen back to 9th behind Scott Rickard. So there you go, that's how easily and how quickly you can lose positions around here. Brian Harris has gone a lap down officially. Our leader is in the thick of the lap traffic. Like Brian Harris got up into the fence there a little bit. We're nearing the halfway marker. 62.5 laps is the halfway point. That is officially the end of lap 62 there. And he's halfway down the back straight. We're at the halfway point in this race. And that is right there. So we're halfway through. 62.5 down, 62.5 to go. And Andrew Hennessy does not look like slowing down at all. I would set the camera back to focusing on crashes, but apparently the Aussie Sim cat has decided to start attacking my mouse hand. But we get to see Hennessy in action, just carving his way through the lap traffic as he gets underneath of Sam Niederhelm. Puts Sam a lap down. I wouldn't put it past Hennessy to try and get as many people lap down as possible. And battle through lap traffic as the 03 TJ Crampton has gone to the pits. Jonathan Hernandez has taken advantage of the lap traffic as he's gotten to the inside of Scott Rickard. There's 74. Austin Collins is the one who's taken the most advantage, being up in the 4th place now. That outside line has just really been digging for him. And it's weird because they were all expecting a lot more cautions than what we have been getting. Austin Collins, all he's got to do right now is try and hold off Scott Rickard, which in some situations is easier said than done. TJ Crampton's back out on the track. He's 2 laps down after that pit stop. Jonas Marquez has gone a lap down, and next to is Sanders and Isaacson, looking like they're going to go a lap down. There's a little bit of a gap to Bryce Shoemaker as Ortega and the Cookie Monster himself, Corey Cook, have come into the pits. Here comes Collins into the pits now, followed by Hernandez. Now this is where things could start getting spicy. We also had Cremines and Perkins come into the pits. And it looks like the 13er Travis Masia has posted his intention to pit. And in he comes. There's a battle between Pizzakemi and Kraus. The moment they're battling over what is the 7th position on track. Thomas Harmon is in, so too is Scott Rickard and Andrew Griesbaum at Baylor. And in comes our leader right now, Andrew Hennessy in the pits. Scott Rickard is out. Back on track. And Campbell has also pitted at some point. Big traffic jam in the new versus old tyres on track. Barnes is in the pits, so too is the 51 of Horton. Oh, a slide there for Kyle Kraus. Got a little bit too close to the 39 of James Watson. All these guys on pressure tyres sweeping around the outside. Joe Salama is in. Sanchez and Ghost On have pitted once more. And comes Watson. Hennessy's currently in P9. He's on the lead lap once more. Oh no, around. That's Brian Harris. He's gone a lap down, but he went around. No caution came out. That could have been disastrous for a lot of people if there was a caution there. The 3 wide. That was with the 15 in the middle. They got it sorted out back down to single file or 2x2, whichever they happen to get at the time. Brian Harris in the 8 with that spin. He's in the pits. He's already a lap down. Carson Pizzicami battling over the on-track race lead. Chambliss here in the 67 is currently P3. Hennessy's in 8th. Just 12 seconds off the lead. There is Pizzicami. Now Pizzicami did pit under that first caution. So there is a fairly slim chance that he might make it to the end. Not going to hold our breath on it, but you know, there is a possibility. There's Hennessy now, less than 10 seconds off the lead. Oh, around goes Harris once more. We've got the caution out. What happened here to Brian Harris this time? We saw him have a spin before. He's just going into turn 1. 22 of Ortega is behind him. And oh, you can see him sliding right immediately on entry. He locks it down, hooks it to the right. And that's a fairly decent contact with the fence, both on the right rear and the right front. And that's only the second caution of the race. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break now. When we come back, we're going to see results of pit stops here and see if anyone else decides to stop. So make sure you guys stay tuned. The rest of the racing action here from the caution-free 150 be coming up very shortly. welcome back to the caution-free 150 here at the Richmond Raceway. Andrew Hennessy has reassumed the lead of this race. Let's have a look through. There's Hennessy, Hernandez, Barnes, Cremines, Campbell, Pizzakemi in P6. I'm not sure if that's... Yeah, no, that's where he is apparently. Then there's Perkins, Quickly, Chambliss, Champeau to the top 10. As we look over the page, there's Kraus in 11th, Harmon, Ruckert, Sanders, Griesbaum, Slama, Collins, Ortega, Shoemaker, Cook to 20th. Massey, Crampton, Horton, Watson. That's down to 24th. And we start with our lap down cars. There's Pentacuff, Marquez, Isaacson, Niederhelm, Baylor, Harris. And of course, Ghoston and Sanchez at the back of the field. They're both in the pits right now as well. And I still can't believe this is only the second time we're under caution here for this race. A lot of cars looking to get the wave around. Watson is the last of those. No, it's Collins all the way down to James and Watson looking for the wave around. Which is a shame for Collins as well because he was looking really strong early. But unfortunately getting caught a lap down when that caution came out really screwed him a bit. As the wave arounders get back onto the lead lap, get back to the back of the pack. I'm still just super surprised that Pizzakemi up there in P6. And don't forget, he started dead last and in the pits. And he's up there in P6. The pace car is in. We're off and racing. Hennessy with a huge jump here on the restart. Immediately gapping both Hernandez and Cremines. As Hernandez experiments with some alternate dimensions. The battle is on for second between Hernandez and Cremines. Cremines using the momentum of the outside line very nicely. And it looks like he's going to maintain second as a 12. But Chris Champeau goes for a slide down through the grass. He's not even a number that I wanted to click on, but there he goes. 106 Travis Barnes trying to get back into this battle as well. And it looks like he's going to take over third. As the two of Hernandez going to fall back into fourth. A couple of cars struggling with the fresher tyres as Ryan Harris still in the pits. I'm not sure why it was looking at him. There's a 05 Scott Riggett. He gets underneath of Austin Collins. These guys mired down in the midfield now. They were all up towards the front. Oh, and around goes the 7 of Kraus. Caution is out. Back this up and have another look for our third caution of the race. That was a little bit too soon. He's just coming through turns 1 and 2. Where does it start stepping out? Right there. You see the flash of his exhaust as he got off the gas. And that is the moment when the car started going around on him. Did very good here though. Tried to get it going. Locks up the brakes as he sees that it's not straightening out. Just releases ever so slightly. Locks it back up again. And stops it before it gets anywhere near the fence. Very nicely done. He's going to come down through the pits, get some fresh tyres on that automobile. And I think Frank Isaacson here is going to get the Lucky Dog wave around. Being the first car one lap down. There he goes, around the outside. But still, Andrew Hennessy leading the way from Travis Barnes. Frederick Cremines managed to hold on to third, but it's going to put him on the inside line. That's not his preferred line. Travis Barnes will probably also have to restart on the inside because it looks like Hennessy has been preferring that outside lane for the restarts. Barnes sitting there trying to influence him into restarting on the inside. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And we're not quite getting into 2x2 formation just yet, so I imagine we're probably at 2 to green here. Travis Barnes shaping up as if he's going to take the outside line. But Andrew Hennessy is doing the same, just not to the extreme of Travis Barnes. And there it is officially. Hennessy to the outside, Barnes to the inside. That's Hennessy, Barnes, Cremines, Hernandez, Campbell, Fizikemi, Chambliss, Weekly, Harmon, and Rickard as your top 10. Currently have 25 cars on the lead lap. Got 3 cars 1 lap down, 1 car 2 laps down, 1 car 4 laps down, 1 car 9 laps down. And Jonathan Haddon and Jaron Sanchez is currently 18 laps down. He's back in the pits. The lights are out on the pace car. He's going to make that hard left turn into pit lane. We're going to get ready for the restart here.
Go.
We're off and racing. Another really nice jump there for Andrew Hennessy in a 94 car. A decent restart that time for Travis Barnes. And what can Cremines do here on the inside? He's got third for the moment, but Hernandez using the momentum of the outside line to his advantage. Will Hernandez manage to take third back at the line? Oh, he's in the fence. If he didn't get the fence there, he absolutely would have maintained third. But he drops down the fourth as they go 2x2 behind him. Caution is out once more. And I'm trying to see who that is. I think that's the 21 of Thad Failor. Maybe? Let's back this up. And it was not Thad that I saw go around. Oh, the 61 maybe. That's not the 61, that's the 51. And that's a 67. I'm really not good at this. And he's in the pits, so I think that we may have a winner here. What happens as they come into turn 1? There's a 12 of Chris Champeau. Oh no, he's in the middle of 3 wide. And Corey Cook gets loose. Very loose. Oh, and the car gripped up on him straight into Andrew Perkins, who had nowhere to go. Jack Sanders, oh, he gets a piece of it as well. Mark Pentecoff gets a small piece of it. And that looks like that is going to be day done for both Perkins and Cook. Perkins has already left the session. He is OUT out. It's all becoming a little bit chaotic here in the second half of the race. But here is our leader, Andrew Hennessy. Let's go through the order as they come across the line. Tennessee, Barnes, Cremines, Hernandez, Pizzicami, Campbell, Weekly, Chambliss, Rickard, and Harmon. That's your top 10. Collins, Slammer, Griesbaum, Champeau, Crampton, Shoemaker, Horton, Massia, Watson, and Sanders to 20th. We got Kraus, Needhelm, Isaacson, Ortega down to 24th. Marquez, the first car, 1 lap down. And then we've got Panterkalf, who's also 1 lap down. Baylor, 2 laps down. Corey Cook's in the pits. He's getting repairs done. He's currently 3 laps down. Perkins, who was out, he's 4 laps down. But he'll lose a couple more positions here to Ghost On, who's 4 laps down. And possibly Brian Harris, who's just come back out on the track. He's 9 laps down. And just remember, if it comes to it, we do have 2 attempts at a green, white checkered finish. Now it looks like Corey Cook is officially OUT out as well. Andrew Hennessy has selected the outside line once more. We'll get back into the 2x2 formations. Ghost on the next lap will gain 2 positions. And he's doing it right now. He's going to go from 29th to 28th. But here we go. With just 20 laps left in this race when we get the green flag. The pace car is in. And we're off and racing once more. Another great restart there for the 94 of Hennessy. Straight to the inside of Barnes. Goes Cremines in the 14 car. He sends it in deep. Pushes up the track a little bit. But manages to hold on to it. And he will stay back in 3rd though. Jonathan Hernandez in the 2 car trying to make something of this on the outside line. He just can't quite get there. The 15 of Ken Campbell. Another one. Looking to try and make some moves. As he was peeking to the outside of Pizzicami. And he just couldn't quite get there. He's there now though. The battle between Pizzicami and Campbell continues on. Racing Jonathan Hernandez in a decent position too. And really close to getting back onto the podium. If you haven't heard a Jonathan Hernandez interview, then you're not living as there's a big block thrown by the 67 of Brian Chambliss on the 05 of Scott Rickard. The 3 wide behind as Joe Slammer just tapped the fence. And the caution is out once more. And I see someone on the front straight. Who is that? Quite possibly the 51 was the cause of our caution this time. We're going to look at this in full speed. Oh, yep, absolutely. It was the 51 of Matt Horton. Just getting sideways coming out of turn 4. And unfortunately that brought out the caution. Laps are winding down. There's only 15 laps left in this race now. As we're just about to complete lap 110. the order is this. Let's have a look at our top 10 actually, properly. There's Hennessy, Barnes, Cremines, Hernandez, Pizzicami, Campbell, Weekly, Chambliss, Harmon, and Rickard. That is your top 10. We're probably going to have to pay some special attention here to Chambliss and Rickard. Because Chambliss throwing that big block that we saw on Rickard that one lap just before the caution came out. Definitely not making it easy for some of these guys behind him while trying to maintain a decent position for himself. Just saw the gate of Brian Harris come out of the pits. He's officially taken over 29th now. Corey Cook and Andrew Perkins dropping to 30th and 31st, respectively, sorry. I do believe Marquez was our lucky dog wave around this time. We have one car left, one lap down. That's Mark Pentecoff. He's in 26th. Just having a quick look through at who possible hard charger awards could go to. There's a couple of people I see there that are eligible that might be in for the running. I think we'll go 1 degree this time by. Which means we will get the restart with 11 laps left in this race. As Hennessy has selected the outside line. Here we go. 11 laps of what could possibly be the most chaotic short track racing you've seen in a while. And we haven't had the big one yet, so that is always still a possibility. There's also the possibility for wheel spin on the restart causing a big one. The pace car is going to make the hard left turn into pit lane. And we're racing once more. A really good restart that time for Travis Barnes. He's side by side with Andrew Hennessy going into turn 1. And Barnes sends it in deep. Takes the lead. Hennessy crosses him over. What has Hennessy got? As in the background, around. That was the 12 of Chris Champeau. What happened here to Chris Champeau? On the back straight, he's on the bottom of 3 wide there with a 9 slam at a 74. Austin Collins. And he runs into the left rear fender of Collins. Gets a little bit sideways and just gets finished off there by James Watson. That one looked to me to be a bit of a racing deal. Now let's back it up again. Have a look at it from a different angle. Go from the regular camera angle here. Not sure if he spotted, didn't tell him they were 3 wide, but they were definitely 3 wide here on my camera. He just comes up, just a slight tap into the 74. He gets it saved just a little bit, but there was enough check up that the 39 James Watson nowhere to go. Oh, that sucks for Chris. But we also have a new leader in the race, the 106 Travis Barnes. We're now in the final 10 laps. we get another caution from here, we will be going into overtime. And I imagine we're on 2 to green right now. It's going to be Barnes, Hennessy, Hernandez, Cremines, Pizzakemi, Campbell, Chambliss, Harmon, Weekly, and Rickard as your top 10. You see very early on, Travis Barnes showing his attention for the outside line. And we must be 2 to green now. I thought we were going to be 2 to green last lap, but I guess not. This means we will get the restart with 5 laps left. I just saw what the name and the logo is for next week. And let's just say I'm very bitterly disappointed with it. But here we go now, 1 to green. We'll get the restart with just 5 laps left. Fuck you, Andrew Perkins. That's my one for the broadcast. Here we go, the pace car is in. 5 laps left. And we're off and racing. Great start from Travis Barnes. A little bit of wheel spin there for the 94 of Hennessy. And that has allowed Cremines to get to his outside. Hennessy was the informed car the entire race until the last restart. And it looks like he might drop back to 3rd here. But Barnes still leading the way very comfortably. Hennessy got very loose. And he's lost out on 2nd to Cremines. Hernandez trying to get on the podium. Hennessy trying to power up on the inside, but he's lost all sense of grip as he slides up in front of Hernandez this time. Pizzakemi, another one trying to make the inside work. 3 laps to go. We're sticking here at the front of the pack just in case we don't get an incident or a caution. Hernandez trying desperately to get onto the podium. 2 laps left now. Travis Barnes on his first race back as he comes down the back straight for the penultimate time. He's been going for a little bit. He's back. He means business. And it's going to be white flag, last lap, last chance. The winner will wear it. No chance of a caution from here on out. He comes down through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. It's good to have him back. And he's showing that he is the class when he needs to be of the field. Comes through 3 and 4 for the final time. The winner of the caution-free 150 is going to be the 106 of Travis Barnes. P2 goes to Frederick Cremines. P3, Andrew Hennessy, the dominant car of the race. That is the way the cookie has crumbled. Barnes, Cremines, Hennessy, Hernandez, Campbell, Pizzakemi, Harmon, Rickard, Chambliss, and Crampton is your top 10. We've got Collins, Slammer, Weekly, Griesbaum, Shoemaker, Sanders, Kraus, Horton, Niederhelm, and Isaacson to 20th. As we go over the page once more, there's Marquez, Campbell, Pentecost, Ortega, Masia, Watson, Baylor, Ghoston, Harris, and Cook. And then we wrap up our field with Perkins and Sanchez. But what an excellent win there for Travis Barnes. He's doing a burnout on the Richmond sign in the background. There we go. But stay tuned. We're going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we will have driver interviews. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, it is now time for our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award. And today's Hard Charger, starting down in 17th and finishing in P5. What an incredible effort there for the 15 of Mr. Ken Campbell. Ken, um, plus 12 in a race at Richmond after what was a really bad practice for you, to the point of me insulting you, and B, a not so great qualifying effort either, mate.
Yeah, I usually got a little more speed. Richmond, I really like the track. I'm not like super fast here, but I'm like pretty fast and consistent. But I didn't have a good practice in qualifying because we were at football practice earlier tonight, and one of my sons hurt his arm, and got word from the hospital that he had broken his shoulder about 2 minutes before I got into race. So my wife took him to the hospital, and he's doing great. He's going to be the offensive coordinator, and he's going to call up a bunch of great plays for us. But was kind of more focused on that than trying to run fast laps. And but once I found out he was in good spirits and was okay, it's like, all right, it's time to get down to business. And so just tried to keep it clean during the race.
Now, Richmond's not usually known as a track where you can make passes, but in these later years, it's really seemed to become quite the multi-groove track with plenty of passing if you know how to do it right.
Yeah, so that first run, I knew I would be better on long run, and didn't think we would get one tonight, but we did. And so on the first long run, I was doing really well. It kind of stalled out there for a while. I was running the same time as the leaders, but so was everybody in front of me, and I think I was in like 14th at the time or 12th or something. And then I think we started to catch some lap traffic, and that really helped. Got some good calls there and used some guys as picks and stuff like that. And then actually got green flag stops in, so that was fun. And then was about 8 laps after, but I knew that my tire wear from the first run was really good, actually. And so had about 8 laps when the caution came out, and a bunch of guys came in to pit, and I knew that I had the tires to stay out. And so just stayed out and held on from there on.
Yeah, it definitely looked like with all those late restarts, you and Brian Pizzicami would definitely have an awesome little stash there. Depending on who was starting inside, who was starting outside, it could have gone either way between you two.
Yeah, the leader starting on the outside really helped that outside line get going, and it's pretty easy to roll the outside line anyway. And so when you got that initial jump off of the start, that kind of set us up for like the next 3 or 4 or 5 laps after that. I think if the leader had been on the inside and the inside had gotten a better jump and been able to clear a little bit earlier, that it wouldn't have been as good a racing. But we're teammates, and so we're trying to give each other a lot of room. And so I think some other guys would have probably cleared themselves trying to come up, but we just wanted to make sure that the other one had room, race respectfully, and yeah, it was a good fight there to the end. He got a little bit loose coming out of 2 on that last lap, but was looking forward to seeing who was going to win at the line if that didn't happen.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week, Ken. We're going to be going to the first road course of the season with Watkins Glen. So what's the feeling like for you as we go to upstate New York?
Slow and steady. Definitely don't have pace at road courses. Road courses are not my thing at all, but you can't count Watkins Glen as a road course, really. It's like the one that everybody runs, and so a lot of familiarity there. But yeah, plan is to just be slow and steady, and hopefully finish in one piece.
All right, so we have it here first. Watkins Glen is basically a right turning oval with a couple of lefts thrown in just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, simple as that.
All right, Ken, before we let you go here tonight, mate, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah. First and foremost, as always, my family, especially Logan, toughing it out with a broken shoulder right now. But everyone here at Output, the season has not been going well, and we had faith in the drivers to, kind of clean it up. And it's amazing what we can do when we decide to give people space instead of fighting for every inch halfway through the race. Team Watson for their support. If you want to get some good open setups, use WattSpin39 for 10% off, and you up in the booth.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Ken. Congratulations on coming home with a solid top 5 and the Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award. And we look forward to seeing what we can do next week at Watkins.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, guys, that was our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner, the 15 of Ken Campbell. Coming up next, we are probably going to have one of the most disappointed people in the field. And I don't use that word lightly, considering he was the most dominant force of the majority of the race. Is, of course, the 94 of Andrew Hennessy. Andrew, that one restart he got you, and it went all from chocolates to boiled lollies for you.
I'm just saying, I was ahead of the lights. That's all I gotta say. Look at it. But yeah, he just timed me perfectly, and then going into turn 1 and 2, I thought he drove in really deep to clear me to get to the outside lane. So then I tried crossing him over, but he actually stuck it, and then I got behind him, and I think that was basically it. I don't think I could beat him on a restart, obviously, showing the next restart that I just spun the tires completely. And yeah, I wasn't used to being in dirty air up front because the clean air was such a big advantage. Like I felt like that on like the first long run, or I guess the only long run. Like once I caught the lap traffic, the truck just started plowing tight. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was definitely a very a solid run for you here tonight. Another dominating effort for the majority of the race. What was it like? Just try to look after your tires, especially when you did hit that lap traffic and it started plowing on you.
When I got the lap traffic, I had a big enough gap. I felt like where I could just kind of take my time going through it. Plus, a lot of lap traffic just let me go. Even though I think if they stayed in my way, I don't think I could have passed some of them. Honestly, some of them were still pretty good, and it just felt so bad behind other trucks. So the clean air was definitely why I stayed up front for the whole race. I think Travis might have been faster if he got in clean air, but just because I was able to block him and just keep dirty air on his nose, I was able to pull that big of a lead. And once I got a big enough gap into lap traffic where I could just take my time.
Well, it definitely looked like you had a solid strategy there for the most part. Just taking the slightly wider arc into turn one and two, and that was just enough to break his momentum for the majority of the race, especially early on. But those last few laps, it just really started to get to you, and I noticed uh, on that last restart, you start getting really loose there, running the inside line.
Yeah, I got frustrated at myself that I just threw it away. Because because I missed, even though he timed the restart perfectly, that's fine. There's nothing really I can really do about that. It's just I threw it away in one and two, and I tried crossing him over. I should have just rolled around the outside. I would have had it still. So I was more just frustrated at myself that I just tossed the race away, basically. But it's okay. Already won twice, so I don't really mind. Just annoyed that I led so much. I don't even know how much I led, but I wish it just went green to the end.
All right, well, let's look forward to next week then, in a race that will probably go green all the way. And of course, it is the Watkins Glen race. So, what's the feeling like for you as we head to upstate New York for that?
That's like my favorite road course, so I'm excited for that. I think it should be fun. Should be at least it's gonna go green the whole race, like you said. So tires are probably gonna matter a lot, and when you're gonna pit, obviously, I'm not even sure how long it is if we're gonna pit once or twice, but um, it should be a lot of fun.
All right, well, before we let you go here tonight, anyone to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, you for doing the broadcast and all the admins put on this league, and everyone who races this week was better. At least we got a green flag pit stop in. So I didn't expect that. I thought it was gonna be a caution fest. I thought it was gonna be like IRP bad, but we had a good run there, which was fun. I had a lot of fun during that long run, and yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Andrew. Congratulations on coming home P3. And we look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Watkins.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was our third place getter, the most dominating car of the race. Of course, the 94 of Andrew Hennessy. Coming up next, he's really been starting to make a name for himself in the league, and he's only been here since the start of this season. Our second place getter here tonight, the 14 of Frederick Cremines. Fred, um, a nice solid night out here for you. You were towards the front for the majority of the race, but until those final couple of restarts, it just looked like no one really had anything for Andrew Hennessy there.
Yeah, no, Andrew was checking out. I mean, especially these last couple races, he got 2 wins in a row, checking out. And then Travis Barnes came out of nowhere, pulled a fantastic restart. Gotta give him credit for that. It was pretty crazy to see. And I was only up there in the top four, and stayed out on that last caution. Well, around lap 90, stayed out, popped in the top four out of nowhere. So pretty good night for me as well.
And it was definitely a little bit more to what we expect here at Output. But this is your first time experiencing a race where we had a fairly minimal amount of cautions. So what was it like just getting out there and having a decent green flag run with these guys?
Oh, it was great. Problem was I wasn't expecting it. I mean, right after that first caution, and we got however many laps green, like 60, 60, 80. I was kind of banking on a caution, even, you know, really destroying my tires, just trying to push as hard as I can. And then I started falling back a little bit. Luckily, strategy brought me back up, like I said. So yeah, hopefully we get more of these in the future, so I know what to expect, and have a lot of fun racing these guys.
All right, now let's look forward to next week, Fred. We're going to be going to Watkins Glen. What's the feeling like for you as we head to the Glen?
I'm pretty confident. I like the road courses. Glen is one of my favorite, definitely for the trucks. So yeah, only road course of the season, so gotta be excited for that. Enjoy it while it lasts, and yeah, hopefully it goes well.
All right, Fred, before we let you go here tonight, anyone to give a quick shout out to?
Uh, Honestly, just Travis Barnes. I'm really in awe for his restart. That was impressive. So yeah, shout out Travis Barnes.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, mate. Congratulations on coming home with another solid result. And we look
Thank
forward
you,
to
man.
seeing what we can do next week in New York.
Thank you. Have a good night, man.
All right, there we go, guys. That was our second place getter, the 14 of Fred Cremines. Coming up next, we hadn't seen him for a while. He seemed to disappear off the face of the earth, but he's come back with a vengeance, and he's taken out a really decent victory here. Of course, it is the 106 of Travis Barnes. Travis, it's been a while, bro. Welcome back, and welcome back to the Victory Circle.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to be back.
Yeah, and you did it in absolute style too. It looked like almost no one had anything for Andrew Hennessy, but that one restart, you just absolutely nailed it perfectly and got him.
Yeah, that's all it took. He pretty much had the field waxed tonight. If it was his race to lose, and I just ended up timing that restart right and getting that caution there, going through 3 and 4, ended up being in front of him and pretty much solidified the deal there.
Now let's talk about the race as a whole, because you were right up towards the front for the majority, especially in that first run. But it's just he was running that little bit of a defensive line on you, and it just saying that it just took enough air off your nose that you just couldn't really get a decent run on him.
Yeah, I was definitely pushing a lot harder than he was too. We were talking, and then his right side tires was about 80 on that first run there, and I was about 75-ish, 71 on the right front as well. So I was eating him up pretty good, trying to keep up with him, and he was just doing what he needed to do to keep up there. And so I just bought my time. I was slipping back. Third was catching up, fourth also there at before that caution brought that long green flag run to an end. So it ended out for me there.
All right, now let's just talk about going through that green flag run. Traffic did seem to really play a role in how the middle part of that race went. What was it like for you just navigating the traffic and just trying to find a clean line around without letting anyone else get past you?
Yeah, that was a struggle, because they'd end up taking a line that you needed to get through the corner, and you wouldn't be able to put the power down. You'd be sliding off the corner, so it was just a struggle to get through, and it allowed that gap to build up even more. Andrew's able to navigate it a little bit better, so I was just lucky here, honestly. I mean, I was in the right place, right time, so that's all I can credit it to. I mean, it still took a little bit to stay up front, but all in all, I think it was a pretty good night.
All right, now let's look forward to next week, mate. Going to be going to upstate New York, and what's the feeling like for you as we head into the Glen?
It's going to be fun, left and right, so we'll give it our best shot. I'm not too good at them, but, we'll see what we can do.
All right, mate. Well, before we let you go here tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank EBM Motorsports, and thank you to the fans for watching and sticking around. It was a good little show, so hope you guys enjoyed.
All right, man. Thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on returning with a big victory here, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Watkins Glen.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was tonight's winner, the emphatic winner. That is Travis Barnes, and he's so excited. He's already left the voice channel. But that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching along. And until next week, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys at Watkins Glen.